Hello. This was not going to be our normal introduction to the show. That will come later. But for now, I'm going to speak about a subject matter that is difficult for me and reference a charity that I will be participating in. Please stay and listen, but if it does get too heavy, feel free to come back during the stream or skip ahead once YouTube lets you. I will try to be brief. On December 22nd, 2021, my father Don died. He had been fighting pancreatic cancer for nearly a year. Later, late in November, after the chemo had proven ineffective, the spread of cancer became increasingly aggressive. Plans were made for me to visit and to help set up hospice in his home and to say goodbye. But he was readmitted to the hospital for worsening pain and bloating. I and many family members visited that weekend, as he was in good spirits, and the doctors were hopeful they would be able to get him back in our home. Instead, on Tuesday, the 21st, his pain became unbearable. When I arrived at the hospital around 10:15 that morning, my mother, Alicia, was holding his hand, and I could see her despair. He was repeating, "Help me, help," nearly every 15 to 30 seconds, and had been in that state since before my mother was called in at 4 a.m. We helped as best we could by assisting him to move into different positions, up and down, trying to keep him comfortable. He kept begging for help. Sometimes he'd ask for his mother or his brother. Usually he'd beg for Alicia. When he was aware I was there, he'd ask for me to help as well. When the doctor finally arrived at 12:30, my father gathered all his strength and pleaded, "I want to die. Please, end my life. Help me end my life." Hospice then took over. A morphine drip was ordered, but it had to be mixed because there are precautions that must be taken with such a powerful drug. It didn't arrive until 2:50, nearly 2.5 hours later. There was a possibility it wouldn't have arrived until 6, but a nurse decided to break protocol and administer the drip without a proper lockbox. However, the nightmare did not magically end with the morphine, because it is so regulated it has to start at a lower dosage level and then increased every 30 minutes. It was another 2.5 hours before his pain was managed enough for him to stop begging for help, and he reached a state that could be loosely described as sleep. It was the most horrific thing I have ever witnessed. I am still angry. I am still very sad. And my father deserved better. The next morning, he was under the full allowed dosage of morphine, and he moaned with each breath, clearly still in pain. It remained steady until around 10:20, and my mother left to take a smoke break. She had taken up smoking again. His breathing became irregular, and the nurses were in the room, and they had indicated that it was okay to leave. So I stayed behind to watch as he continued to struggle with breathing. I was alone with my dad when his struggle ended. And it wasn't like in the movies. There was no beeping machine that switched to a long tone, and there was no nurses or doctors coming to run in. He was motionless, his eyes fixated on the ceiling, looking clearer than they had for days. I ran down the hall to catch my mother, and she ran back with me. The nurses followed. Alicia grabbed Dawn's hand, and he was breathing again. The nurses, again, assured her that she could leave. I sat in the chair next to him, and the nurses returned with a heart monitor because they suspected his heart had stopped and that the few breaths afterwards were autonomic. It was not long before they had confirmed his death. My mother left her phone in the room, so when I tried to reach out to her, she didn't get the message, and I could hear the very silly text message notification coming from the phone. The nurses were very kind, and they let me stay in the room, and they said it was okay. The next several minutes, I waited for my mother to return, and when she did, I told her that he'd passed. And after a quick, gentle caress and a farewell kiss, she was on task. All business. She was prepared for this eventuality, though it had come sooner than we had hoped. We had a small memorial service a few days later. She allowed herself to cry for the first time. We shared several stories and drank several shots of tequila in his name. And she will spread his ashes in Cancun when the time is right. She has 46 years of memories with my father, and she has several years ahead of her without him. It breaks my heart thinking about my mom without him. The fictional events in our Mage chronicle for this episode and the next few episodes takes place during this tragic week. This episode specifically takes place on the winter solstice, the day my dad felt the most pain. This will be a fighting episode. Our mages will be tested, and they will be brought low. And I didn't do that consciously. It just kind of flowed from the narrative. But when I think back on it, maybe I did. However, I am intentionally doing my part to fight against pancreatic cancer. This episode premieres on April 24th. In a few days, on Saturday, April 29th, I'm going to be joining the PanCan Purple Stride at the Puget Sound here in Seattle. I've created a donation page, which I've linked in the description. I have a modest donation goal of $200. If you can give, fuck cancer. And now, back to the show. Hello. Welcome to the Dahlia World Garden's presentation of Seattle at Dawn, a Mage the Ascension chronicle. I am our storyteller, Tim Dahlia. Thank you for joining us. If you like the show and want more, you can catch all our magical shenanigans on our YouTube playlist. And while you're here, please subscribe to this channel. We appreciate your support. Now, forward unto madness. What is madness, by a mage's standard, anyway? After all, when your entire existence is based around denying and remaking the reality that other people take for granted, aren't you crazy by default? Psychologists and philosophers often refer to baseline reality, that is, the level of reality that's generally acceptable to a person or society. The consensus, for example, presents a massive baseline reality. Around that baseline reality, though, everyone's got a bit of wiggle room. One person may believe in angels, another in the old gods, and a third in nothing at all. All three people, however, accept a baseline reality in which objects fall down, the sun rises in the east, and certain temperatures freeze or boil things. Mages use their belief and practices to alter baseline reality. And even then, however, they still maintain their own frame of reference. A hermetic wizard might invoke angels to cause a typhoon, but he accepts that his friends are his friends, that his sword is a sword, and that there isn't a fat little naked version of himself sitting on his soldier belching Maclad songs in his ear. However, if he does start seeing that fat little naked version of himself, or believing that his friends are conspiring against him, or perceiving his rune-encrusted sword as a singing waffle iron, then that wizard is beginning to go crazy. His baseline reality has shifted into the Twilight Zone. Joining me in the Twilight Zone now are three mages with unquestionable grips upon reality. And today we are starting with Alix.
Hi, I'm Alix. I play Jezebel Spinner. I use they, them pronouns. That was backwards, whatever. Jezzy
Yes.
is currently scared shitless because everything has gone wrong. I just wanted to watch Spider-Man, bro. Just Spider-Man. And now I have to fight these dudes. You know, they're asking for trouble.
Nothing but trouble. Excellent. I think we're gonna go and Cindy, your turn.
I'm Cindy. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Inea Blackwell. who is beginning to question her grip on reality because that shit seems to be a very slippery rug that keeps getting yanked out from under her. Although the home guard is a really very real slice of reality, she's not too terribly happy to see right this moment.
No, I don't think anybody outside of Nazis are okay with them. And last but not least, Billie.
Hi, I'm Billie. I use she, her, they, them pronouns. I play Charlie Newell. Wow, yeah. We just apparently beat the cancel monster. That seems a little bit like maybe I don't know that I necessarily believe that. But we'll see what happens. We've got these home guard fuckers to fight right now, so like I think yeah, we've got our hands full. We'll worry about that if there's worries to be had.
For sure. Is it possible for this day to have gotten more out of hand than it did? The Night Hunters' plan was to watch the home guard, to gather intel, and to make sure people were safe during and after their rally outside the Winterfest of Seattle Center. Instead, Inea witnessed the demonstrators beat a man on the street in front of his family. Charlie found a small but not insignificant number of people strangely affected by the home guard's hateful pamphlets. And Jezebel didn't get to see the end of Spider-Man No Way Home in IMAX 3D because a angelic digital entity cancel ripped through reality and to claim Jolie Jones, who, by the way, is supposed to be safely tucked away at the Vashon Island Unity Commune under the protection of Mabel. Cindy, you're muted.
No, I was doing that on purpose. He is supposed to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are... yes. Oh, and Nay heard the hoot of owls outside just before the emergence. But more on that later.
If there is a later, because we're not looking good right now.
Who knows? Cancel's arrival caused a panic. Jezzy was nearly trampled during Jolie's PTSD-induced breakdown. And just as it looked like Jezebel might be able to get Jolie out to safety, Cancel sensed through her obfuscation attempts. Inspired by the Night Hunters, and possibly by his very well-crafted Spider-Man cosplay, Jolie had a heroic epiphany. Leaping at the hovering Ophanim, Spider Jolie fought against his manifest nightmare and was joined by Nay's ferocious wind ferrets. Jezzy switched her tactics and began to push into the mind of the monster, almost revealing a puppet master who is pulling Cancel strings. Before this person could be... before she could figure that out. Before Jolie could be seriously injured, Charlie disapparated Spider Jolie to the nearby picnic area outside of the theater. But moving Jolie could not deter the single-minded Umbrood, Cancel, pursued by casually breaking reality and transmuting the theater's ceiling into soap bubbles. It floated to its target, intent on completing its mission, but the combined efforts of the Night Hunters and Spider Jolie canceled Cancel. As it neared the end, it lashed out at everyone close by with searing bolts of divine lightning. Bruised, bleeding, scorched, and exhausted, but alive. Silence hangs in the air, broken by muffled, mocking hand claps, followed by a man's voice saying, "Son of a bitch. That looked like it hurt." But it didn't kill you, though. Good. Gives my boys some work to do. As the ringing in your ears fades and you regain your bearings, you notice Jolie is laid out near the broken remains of Cancel. He's smoldering and clearly mauled, but alive. Beyond him, you see a bald man shrouded within impossibly perpetual shadows, standing at the top of a slight hill. Surrounding the shadowed figure are angry-looking gang. They approach with murderous attempt. I would like each of you, at this point, to give me a perception and your choice, whether you're looking for magical things or just things around you, awareness. So one of those two.
Perception and awareness. Pick one.
Yeah, pick one, either alertness or awareness.
Oh,
I
alertness
see.
or awareness. Okay, there we go.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I
Awareness
worded
for
that
mag-
badly.
Awareness for magic and alertness for more mundane.
General, yeah, material.
Awareness. Well, they're about the same. What is the difficulty?
6.
6. Surprising.
Ooh,
Nice.
I've got 4. Nope, 5.
Yes,
Nice.
that's 5. Charlie's got 1. Okay. And what was the roll for each of you? Who chose awareness? Who chose alertness?
Awareness.
I chose awareness.
I chose
Awareness.
alertness.
Alertness. Okay. So both Jezebel and Inea, you can see surrounding each of these people is the telltale signs of possession. There's a rolling blackness that kind of surrounds each of them, and it's all takes vaguely owl-like shapes. And Inea, focusing on the shadowed individual at the top of the hill, you actually catch a flash of this. It is
Shit.
frightening, and were you a person to use this terminology, vaguely demonic.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're right. Wouldn't go there. Would call that a bad spirit or bad medicine. But I guess that takes care of any lingering doubt we might have had about Big Owl Man. So that there is our ringleader owl, at least for this group.
I'm going to pull up initiative order, because we can. I love not having to have you guys roll for initiative and just kind of have it all figured out ahead of time. Makes
As long
things
as Roll20 can math.
Here's
I fixed
hoping.
the math. I fixed the math.
Oh, yay.
Okay.
The cat
Setting the
has
scene.
been messing with my desk again.
And setting the scene, Jolie is alive, awake, heavily injured, lying on the ground. The three of you, Charlie and Inea, are still standing. Jezebel, you are also quite injured, feeling the pain of this attack. Going forward, I should make mention in the character sheets, because you are injured, each box has a you get dice taken away from your dice pool for any roll other than arete and a few other things that I would mention if it became important. This, sadly, if you do happen to roll arete, this system doesn't account for it, so just add the negative as a DP mod.
Oh, I see. Okay.
If you're rolling a skill check, like a attribute plus skill, the first 4 buttons, those will take the dice pool penalty into account, but the 5th, the die pool 5, does not, for whatever reason.
Okay.
So the first 4 that we have up there with the gears beside them, they will take that into account.
Yes.
Okay.
But the 5th one will not. So if you have some sort of magical effect on that allows you to ignore wound penalties, either take into account when you roll or use that 5th button.
Okay.
And there will also be potential scenarios where you've got this willpower button that also takes in, everything will take into account those wound penalties except for that dice pool 5 button.
Okay, so all of the buttons up there at the top
Yeah.
do that. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it may be appropriate in some cases for me to give you a negative DP mod on willpower rolls, because some rolls may require you to roll your remaining unspent willpower as opposed to the actual trait. Cool.
Okay, so you're going to let us know when that, if that...
Yeah, if that happens, of course.
Okay.
So, crowds of people are running in terror out of the theater, away from the picnic area. This is the amphitheater space, and there are, I guess, not a whole lot of people lingering around. You don't see any police or anything like that on the way. This has been pretty quick. It's only been a few minutes, but it has been exhausting, I'm sure. First out the gate, you see this older gentleman kind of step forward. Not too far. He kind of steps up. And you see the shadowy owl figure that is possessing him kind of come to the forefront, and he actually changes and shifts his form a bit. And he starts taking on
That's creepy.
He looks like the Grinch.
some owl-like qualities. And he looks at Charlie specifically. You look like you're a hardy one. Let's finish. Let's keep you. don't move. And he is going to intimidate you. And let's see. Charlie, what is your current spent willpower? You've got 2 spent?
Yes.
And you've got a total of 7, I think. So that leaves you with 5. Okay. I gotta read this ability. Hold on. I'm going to assume that you're going to resist this. So,
Yeah.
yeah, make a willpower roll. But with DP mod. Of -2. Okay, 1 success. The sudden change of this old, wrinkly man into this horrific, owl-like creature, and his command for you to stay put, shakes you to your core, and you are frozen, unable to act. On your turn, you can make an attempt to break it, but it will last beyond that one turn. You have to make multiple successive wins based on his roll. Okay.
Okay.
So, that being said, it is now Charlie's turn, and it's a good thing you were wearing your brown pants.
Okay,
You
so
can
do I
make-
do another willpower roll?
You can make a willpower roll. I would say this one without a DP mod, and the difficulty is 8.
Oh,
Okay. Technically not a botch, but it is not a successful roll. You are not cowering, you're not and you're not shaking, you're not on your knees, but you are compelled to not move. You're compelled to stay where you are. Your companion, Cal, looks up at you from where he's near Jolie, and he looks up and he's like, Cal! And he flies towards the old man. He's gonna harrow him some.
Dude, those beaks are sharp.
Yeah. Also, not a fan of owls. I gotta
No,
find...
did I tell you about the crows and the owl in our yard like couple weeks ago?
No? Did you
No,
have a
we had
fight?
Yes, we had a barred owl in our backyard, and like there was a group of crows that were harrowing the shit out of it, trying to chase it off, and eventually they did. It's a big ass owl, but they did eventually chase it off. It was like probably 6 crows, just constantly, cawing and like swooping at it and such.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
We were amazed, that we saw an owl in the daytime, in our backyard.
When owls come out during the day and they encroach upon crow territory, they will get fucked up.
From what I gather, these barred owls are an invasive predator, and they eat every fucking thing in the area, and are just terrible.
Yeah.
Cow.
Go ahead.
No worries. Cow swarms and tries to peck at the old man. Doesn't get very far. This gentleman, we're gonna call him Vinny. What does Vinny do? Let's find out. Yeah, Vinny takes this time to screw it. Yeah, he's just going to go up to Inea. He's going to attack her. So, on your action, what are you going to do, Inea? He's coming up to physically assault you. It's quite obvious what he's trying to do.
Is he armed?
Well, as he walks up, he becomes armed as his limbs extend and his face shifts, and he gains claws, talons, and a
Why does he
large
look like
beak.
Chitara?
Chitara?
He looks like I'm sorry, that was my first thought. Oh, okay.
I mean, maybe.
When he's small, it's the details.
It's
in
hard.
part is
Yeah,
easy to
I
see.
know. I agree. But this new owl man is going. It looks like he is rushing in, and he's going to try and snap at you with his new beak.
Okay. Okay, hey, easy. I still have my Spirit Slayer knife in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
So on my I'm obviously going to defend myself from his attack, and then on my turn, I will counterattack.
Well, the way this works is that you would both make attacks against one another, and whoever gets the most successes wins in the challenge.
Okay, well then yes, that's what we're doing. And also, I am specifically going to be aiming my knife for the owl spirit that I can see attached to him. So if I can detach it, that will fuck him up just as badly as if I actually injured him.
Indeed. All right.
So, and he may be a human dumbass, but it's the spirit that's actually the problem.
Correct. So for you, you're going to roll dexterity or strength, whichever one you feel is most appropriate, with your melee. And let me see, what is the general weapon? Systems and melee weapons, and this was like a knife, right?
Yeah, it's a combat knife.
Okay,
Kind
yeah.
of.
So
She probably bought it like at an army surplus store. Excuse me, sir.
yeah, so yeah, you would roll Strength or Dex, plus melee, difficulty 4.
Question, because I have knife fighting attached to my martial arts, can I use my martial arts?
Yes,
Okay.
that's right. And difficulty would be 4.
Is that including, because I'm using that 5th button now, so should I
This would actually be, this would take in your wound penalties. So that would, you would still want to use a normal button.
one of the others. Okay.
One of the other 4. Because
Okay,
you are still
so-
wounded and you do still get that.
Oh, would you believe I
penalty.
already had my attack button all set up to do this exact same thing? Okay.
I mean, we've done this before. So
Yes, we have. Okay, here we go then. All right. So no DP mod on this button
correct.
because it's already set up to handle that.
correct.
And then difficulty 4 otherwise.
Yes.
Ooh,
Holy cow. 6
nice!
successes
Nice!
versus his 2. So that's a difference of 4.
Nice.
So your quick martial arts skills and muscle memory, you go in with the weapon. It will do 4, let's see, and the knife itself is a +1, so 5 lethal damage. And you're also got the spirit energy in there as well. Do you add any forces to add any additional damage to attacks with that, or?
So, I mean, yeah, she wants that owl spirit in particular, peeled off of him. So yeah, she's going in with everything she's got.
Okay. So 4, 5, and then with the forces, that's going to make it. Okay.
Yeah, I have
So-
2 in forces. Mhm.
So for each of the 2 in forces,
Nice.
let me double check because I don't want to get that one. Magical damage. Hold on. I don't know why I did. I had everything else pulled up except for this.
Leave it to me to be the one to bring up the fact that you neglected this one particular obscure little rule.
It's not obscure. That's the thing. I have it in my head. I know what I'm thinking. But it's there we go. Okay, automatic damage. So 6 damage. Okay. So, Vinny, not prepared for your skill, goes in to bite you, and you manage to dodge to the left, take his head, and just jab right into his ribs with your knife, doing a significant amount of damage to him. He is... He's crippled, and he falls to the ground, screaming in pain and fear of you. You are his worst nightmare.
That's an excellent thing for him to realize because, yes, I have had a day, people, and you are like a really bad part of it.
To your left, you hear a woman scream. "You're not gonna do that again, bitch. This is for Johnny." And the woman you recognize as Melissa, who you had deposited into a dumpster a few weeks ago. And she transforms into an owlish creature. Her nose
She went
starting
back for more. Oh, she went back for more. Yay.
and she is going to use her ability to try and fuck with your head.
How this is going to work then is
Who
that
your
everybody
manager?
I demand to see your manager.
She's very like,
Oh God!
who is your manager?
Oh God! No, I'm not gonna be able to take her seriously.
That's gross.
Ouch! Oh, there's some claws in the trimming room, sir. Yes, there are. That one right
Okay,
there.
she spends a point of willpower.
Give me this foot. You see that foot?
I have to trim cat claws when I get the opportunity because otherwise he's a holy terror.
Okay, so Inea, there is. You hear the screech of the owl in your mind, and it is it is the primal fear of every living being, and you can accept that these things are changing in front of you, and you can accept the weirdness of this reality, but this is not right. This is not the way it should be. Nothing is quite the way you want it or need it to be. And I'm going to link to you a handout with a basic, there we go, basic primer for what is happening to you.
Boy.
So, under the folder for derangements, you should now see a description of what effect is happening to your mind. And
Working on it. Derangements. Where do I find?
it's in the
Oh,
journal.
got it.
And, yeah. And work this in however Inea would as a character. But there is a mechanical component to this as well. But that's the roleplay side of things. This has happened to you before. This is similar.
I had forgotten about that. Yeah, okay. Okay, I know how this is going to play out.
In the middle of the group is a very tall, 6'4", individual with bleached blonde hair, shaved sides. He seemingly looks like he probably was a cop at some point in his life. Maybe he's got that kind of build. And he rushes over to Vinny, kind of panicked, and starts trying to pull Vinny away from Inea. He's gonna spend that turn trying to get his friend away from the danger. Because he is afraid of losing his friend. Not afraid is this gentleman, who we'll call Marshall. His form erupts into another owl-like shape. And he spends his turn running towards you, but he's just too far. He can't quite get there. He's not fast enough. Actually, instead of doing that, I'm gonna have him roll something. He seems to step into a shadowed area under a tree, and then he's gone. He is blended into his surroundings.
Ooh, I don't like that. That's not good.
Jezzy, it is now your turn.
I need to heal myself. Because I won't be any good if I don't. So...
Unlike your companions, you cannot soak aggravated damage.
No.
Or lethal damage.
No. I can't do a lot of soaking. I'm very, very squishy. So... heal myself I must.
Okay. So you can roll your arete. I would say, because you want to make the... Is this a rote that you use as well?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can use the rote. Your normal dice pool modifier for that is 2, I believe. You also want to add in an additional 2 as well. So the dice pool modifier there is going to be 4.
Okay.
If I have this correct.
6?
Difficulty is going to be... Let's see, it is... It's vulgar. Yeah, so it would be 6.
Okay.
And you also, on success, will gain a point of paradox.
Well, that's not a problem.
But you do get a single success because you rolled a 10. So that gets you 2 points of healing. So
Points of healing.
yeah, so your wounds stitch up, and you go from, I think you're at 4, you go up another 2. Or maybe, no, you're at 5, aren't you?
Yeah, I have a slash and maul.
There you go. Yeah. So you would now just be lethal. Or sorry, not lethal. Injured. Sorry.
Okay.
Yep. Just like that. Yep.
Okay, cool.
And you gain a point of paradox.
Oh, yes. Let me do that.
Okie dokie.
Goodness.
You got this. You guys are doing well. This
Ish.
this gentleman, we'll call him Chris. Chris is a very fit-looking individual. He looks like he's in his mid to late 20s. His head shaved. Doesn't seem to be too radicalized. He doesn't have like a whole lot of tattoos or anything, but he definitely looks like he was once in like the Marines or something like that. And he's a little further back as well. He is going to... Yeah. He seems to be able to rush up on Inea's space, and he's going to make a... he's just going to go and try to punch her. Yeah. His punch is going to be a standard hand-to-hand. Hand-to-hand maneuver. Gotta actually build this dice pool. Brawl. Punch. Dice pool. Difficulty 6. Uncontested gets 2 points. But Inea, I believe, you can soak up to 2 aggravated. Well, you can soak. You have a dice pool of 4, but I just go with the average. So he punches you, and it hurts for sure, but it does no damage. It's ineffectual to you. Your training allows you to roll with the punch, and you don't really suffer from it. And then there was Spider Jolie. Spider Jolie is not looking too hot. He's on the ground smoking, but he knows that this is a flight or fight sort of moment. And so he stands up and dusts himself off and takes a stance ready for whatever comes. And he throws his arm forward, puts his hand up in this motion, and a string of web shoots forth, and it grapples with no, he's gonna go after Chris. Chris looks like the more immediate threat. He's aware of it, so we're gonna have him try that. Let's see. What should I have him roll? This is a cosplay, right? So crafts and dexterity? No. It's gonna be...
You gotta see how good he was with Mod Podge. It's necessary.
Yes. Now this is gonna be...
The soldier's worth the soldier he used on him.
It's not a firearm. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's still a weapon, so we're gonna make it...
It's sort of like a chain dart, kind of.
Yeah. 2 8s. All right. So 2 successes. The webbing wraps around and binds Chris's feet, and you see him struggling there as he almost topples over. He is restrained and unable to move. He also becomes very angry and panicked, and his form shifts. I had so much fun making these, by the way.
I would never have guessed.
He must
was-
stop Christmas from coming.
Christmas is the
I love
worst. Coming up from behind, this gentleman. Yeah, you rolled high enough, Inea. You recognize him as well. This is the gentleman that you first encountered with Griffin Claw and the Waymaker. This is Joshua Hart, who seemingly, at the time, was changing his ways. But that doesn't seem to be the case. In fact, it looks like he hit the gym, and for the past couple months has been working on his self-image.
I think he's been working on his anger issues at the gym instead of with a therapist.
Yeah. And he also chooses to join his owl brethren and shift into a more feral form. He is going...
It had to be a great horned owl, didn't it? The owl that is the hardest to take seriously. with its antenna things doing the thing.
It reminds me of like Michael Jackson in Thriller, like when he was turning back.
I should
love
have
it.
downloaded that and just had that playing in the background. That would have been fantastic.
Childish.
Well, he makes his move to attack as well. Josh. Josh is going to attack with his now enlarged talons. He's going to have a disadvantage because you're getting a bit crowded now as well. So
Yeah.
it's hard to get in there.
And also Chris is sort of in the middle of this sort of flailing.
Right, exactly.
I think that was Chris.
Yeah. All right.
We got Vinny, Chris, and Josh all trying to beat my face in. Vinny really wished he hadn't done that. And then Melissa, bitch, over here.
So, even with the reduced dice pool, he's still able to get an attack in. He gets a he does scratch with one of his claws. It's not terribly deep, but you do take after soak 2 points of lethal damage from the claw.
Ooh. Okay, where does that put me? Lethal is
X's.
the X?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that puts me at wounded.
So you are now wounded. Your heavy jacket took a large amount of that blow, and you hear Proberry go, "Oh shit!"
Strawberry. Of course, I'm the only one that can hear him now, so that probably sounded really weird.
Yes. Not now. And now the gentleman at the top of the hill in the shadows, see him in contemplation as he's muttering, whispering something to himself. As this fight continues. He's building towards a something. Or preparing.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Come back to the top of the round. Let's see. We have... This is one of those weird things because at this point we've got three of you, not in any actual hand-to-hand, and one of you in hand-to-hand. When I say, I'm counting Jolie as well. So we're going to resolve the physical combatants first. So that puts you at the top of the round. Inea, what do you do?
They is too flippin' busy right now to be paying attention to Baldy on top of the hill, so she kind of can't. That said, Chris is busy. Vinny
Yeah, his
is
legs
bloody.
are wrapped up.
Yeah, Vinny is bloody.
Bleeding out, yes.
Josh is the only one that's actually up in my face. Am I correct? And he's only kind of up in my face?
Yeah, he's had a hard time getting around Chris.
Okay, so Melissa made it really obvious that she was using some kind of a psychic attack. Am I correct in that? I mean, that was like...
she screeched and you immediately felt the effects. I'm just going to make that big.
Okay. Is she down there where I could... Like, do I have a direct line to her?
I mean, you can
Straight
see
across?
her, sure. Yeah.
Well, no. Is Josh actually between us physically, or is he kind of off to one side?
He's kind of in the way. Yeah, he would be in the line of sight, but not unless you were like trying to shoot or something.
Well,
you do have your taser, by the way. So
I do, and I haven't gotten that out yet, but largely because we've been fighting spirits up to this point. God damn it.
I mean, you can always enchant your taser.
Yeah, I could, but not right at this moment. These people are in my face.
True.
So, the thing about this is that what you sent me, combined with what Nay is very well aware of with Melissa, and Nay kind of wants to eat Melissa's face.
That's fair.
But Josh is in her way. So I think I'm going to whip out a roast.
Okay.
Jam my hand in a pocket, whip out a pouch, pop it open with a thumb, and shake tobacco and cornmeal mixture. Brothers and sisters of the wild, hear my call. Rage is on the air. The pack is threatened. The hunt is on. Free the mad howlers.
Right on. Before you roll your arete here, roll your willpower with the -2 DP mod because of it's your current willpower you're rolling.
Oh, okay.
Difficulty 4, by the way.
Okay. -2 on the DP mod and 4 on the difficulty. 2 successes.
2 successes. Your derangement does not prevent you from doing this.
Okay.
So yeah, this rote has a difficulty of 7. Is definitely vulgar, and the DP mod for this is going to be not just 3, but it should be 5 because you're wounded, and this should not affect your irritate rolls.
So if I hit Arete and add my spirit,
yeah, and then also add the
subtract 5.
So your wound penalty is -2. So the total DP mod is going to be 5. So 3 for the spirit, 2 for the wound penalty.
I would add my spirit.
Yeah.
And then subtract 2.
No, you're not even going to do that. You're going to add 2 because wound penalties don't affect arete rolls.
Really
so
confused.
I'm negating the wound penalty by adding 2. So it's 3 plus 2 for 5 being the DP mod.
Okay, so I'm hitting Arete, free the mad howlers. DP mod should be 2?
5.
5. Positive 5. Okay.
Positive 5. And
submit.
You can spend willpower for automatic success or up to 3 quintessence to lower difficulty.
She's definitely going to spend 1 willpower, but I think we'll hold off on the quintessence.
Okay.
Whoops.
So DP mod 5, difficulty 6, and
6.
that should be...
Okay. Oh God! I have 1 success.
No success. Oh yeah, the 1 success from willpower.
The willpower.
Okay. Yeah, so the cornmeal, the tobacco offering fall to the floor and wind kind of blows away and the spell fizzles and your allies do not come to your aid.
Okay. Gotta get my head together.
Chris, who is currently bound, he screeches in anger and he needs to make a willpower roll. Okay, so his ferocity comes forth and he screams in anger, but seems to maintain control of himself. And he takes this opportunity to use his claws to rake the webbing away from his legs. And doesn't have an opportunity to attack you. Joshua, however, moves to a more favorable position and does make an attack against you. Joshua is going to attack with his talons like a chicken. Got razor sharp talons. So, he gets 3 successes, and you've got the ability to soak 2, so you take the 1 lethal wound from his claws. And that resolves all the physical close quarters combat, as
Nay is in bad shape.
as Ernie is pulling Vinny away. And now we're talking ranged actions. So, in order of ranged actions, Charlie's not a ranged action. Oh, forgot about this. I should have Cal continue his attack on Old Man Ross. But does nothing, because he's a bird. I mean, he can only do so much.
Hey, he's keeping him occupied, right?
He is keeping him occupied, yes. Ross is quite distracted. Distracted enough that...
If I had a crow up in my face trying to eat my eyeballs, I would definitely not be paying attention to anything else.
Yes.
It sounds like a very good boy to me.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So as far as ranged actions, Jezzy, are you doing anything?
Yes. Let me see. I want to try... Do I need to be close to Inea to heal her mind? Or can I just throw it?
Well, you would have to be aware of what's going on. I think you would be able to see that with your aura sense. You would see the change in her aura. You would see things have kind of gone more gray. Like the color around her aura is desaturated a bit. And it's flickery. It's not as like a steady glow. There's some variation going there. So yeah, you can see that something has changed in her aura.
Okay. So... because I know Charlie is between us.
You also see that Charlie is also his aura has changed
you're
a bit
right.
too.
You were right. You were right.
Yep.
You are correct.
They're both a little bit distracted. Like they ain't right in the head right now.
Just a
Yeah.
smidge. Okie
His
dokie.
his is tinted orange.
Orange. Question.
Yeah.
Can I do both at the same time? Like if I touch Charlie and Charlie touches Nay, can that work?
Well, you've got one in correspondence, and they're within visual range. You don't necessarily need to touch them.
Yes! brains. Give me
Love
your
that.
brains.
I love that maniacal laugh. I'm gonna die.
I am very pleased. I will be trying that.
So yeah, with Mind 3, you can reach out to your friends, and with enough successes, you could affect both of them.
Reach
So-
out and touch base.
Yes. I have to
So,
listen to
in
that
this
song.
case-
Okay.
So in this case, it sounds like you are using your heal me, or in this case, heal them mentally.
Mhm.
So base 2 successes for 1, then 3. So okay, yeah. In this case, you would roll your arete with the DP mod of 4,
Okay.
and the difficulty is still going to be 6.
Okay.
But you can lower that with quintessence, and you can also spend willpower to get automatic success.
This is important, so I'm gonna use a quintessence. Because
Okay.
if something happens to them, I'm fucked. I'm very squishy. So
Okay.
let's just go ahead and get that going.
Yeah, you can only spend 1 quintessence per turn because of your avatar rating. So, the difficulty is going to be 5. Dice pool mod is going to be 4.
Shit.
And
Okay. I'll have to keep trying.
and you needed a minimum of
Of
3
2.
successes. Well,
Yeah,
2 for
3.
1, 3 for 2.
2. Okay, I'll keep trying. I
So-
got y'all. I'm coming, guys.
Okay, so you hold on to the magic and you keep the flow of quintessence going. Oh, you got. Oh, you did. Did you spend willpower?
No, I
No.
only used quintessence.
Okay. Willpower would have been 2 successes. Okay.
Yeah, that would have. I was just
Okay.
thinking that.
No problem. No problem. All right. So, but you are maintaining that connection. Jolie, upon seeing the angry Chris owl person rip through his webbing, kind of gives a bit of a "oh shit" sort of cry out, and I forgot Cancel was there. Cancel's gone now. And yeah, he's just gonna try and keep these folks away from him with web. So he doesn't want any of them coming after him. So he's gonna try that again, because he can. And 2 successes. So again, this time aims a little higher and wraps Chris around the chest. And
This time
he's-
with feeling.
yes, he's like, I heard of the vulture. I didn't realize that there's gonna be like owl people too.
Good job, Jolie.
He tries.
Like, this dude is just sort of accidentally tripping his way into doing well. I don't even.
Is it an accident, or is it, it might be an accident. I don't know. He's good. He's got good aim.
It is totally an accident. I cannot. No.
All right. So Melissa, range. Actually, let's see. We've got Ross. He's kind of harried. All right, Melissa's turn. She capable. She's going to screech yet again. This time, Jezebel.
I knew she was
You
coming.
have mental protections. You are prepared for mind fuckery. And you hear the flapping of feathered wings and the screech coming from this Karen, I guess is what we're going to call her. Karen now. I will need you to...
Who is your manager?
Yeah, give me a willpower roll with a difficulty of 5.
Difficulty. Is there a DP mod or no?
No DP mod. Excellent.
Mwah.
Plenty of success there. You feel it trying to reach into your mind and try to appeal to your worst nature, to that shedding of inhibitions and that ability to not give a fuck. But it doesn't take hold.
Good.
Charlie, you are still standing there, paralyzed with fear. This is the second turn, so you can make a willpower check or willpower roll with difficulty of 7 instead of 8. I should also make mention, I don't know if Jezebel has considered this, but you do have a pocket full of joy.
Oh, I do. I do indeed.
Which, if you look at your gear on your character sheet, actually lists the effects of it. Charlie, success. Excellent. So, you shake off the effects. Because that is that's a resounding 3 successes.
Yeah, it's just like Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Oh shit.
You okay?
Yep, just dropped my popcorn. I only lost 1 kernel.
Only 1 kernel. Better than the theater nearby, because they lost it. Charlie, you are now able to move and start taking an action.
Excellent. Okay. Oh, yeah, I want to do something to that guy that did this to me. I don't like being intimidated like that.
Yeah. And he's swatting at your crow, you know?
Do
Well,
not
it's
hurt the
swatting,
baby.
If he hurts Cal, he gonna be in for a world of hurt, boy.
I should also make mention that, Charlie, you have, with the connection to the crow headdress, while it can't fit in your back pocket, because you do have that connection to it with correspondence, you can pull it out of anything.
Oh, yeah.
Normally that would require like knowledge of matter to do it, but because this is more of a spiritual connection with it, I'm going to allow it to be like one of your tethered items.
Well, shit, let's do it. Let's pull it through and put it on.
Okay. This is what you got it for. It's for this type of situation. So, you put on the headdress. This larger-than-life, intimidating Countess of Crow takes over, and you feel all the... There was some residual fear that was coming through from the effect that the old man screeched at you. That dissipates. And you can see very clearly all of the owls in the area. And I would need to have you make a willpower roll, another one, with a DP mod of -2. You feel the overpowering, sensational anger that Crow has for these owls. And it takes all your willpower that you have there. You got 3 successes. That's exactly what you needed. And you do not lose control of yourself. You do not succumb to the berserker rage that would have come. That being said, if you check your gear, you'll see what the Crow Mask is capable of. Give you a chance to read over that.
Okay. Wow.
You also have your Glock. So.
Yeah.
I just love this image of like this dude running around with a giant crow headdress and a gun. Just. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea to pull my gun out as well.
You've got options. But I wanted to make sure that you were aware of them before I made a choice.
That's outstanding. Yeah, I think that Cal's gonna need some help.
Okay.
So let's summon a swarm.
All right. So for this, let me just double check. Gnosis. Trying to remember. Gotta look something up. Hold on one moment. Hold, please.
The sheer number of times I heard that today.
Hey man, things get complicated. There's a wealth of options. I gotta look up like the rules for fetishes.
Out of context, that statement could have sounded very strange.
It's strange in context. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay, you're right. But the context does matter.
Yeah, strange is a relative term.
All right, yeah. So your willpower roll was what you needed there. So now, you just need to roll the Gnosis rating, which is 7. So I would just use the standard dice pool button and pick 7 dice and difficulty 6. Am I reading that right?
Wow.
That's 7 successes.
What?
2 10s in that.
7 dice, 7 successes. All right.
Yeah.
We can do that.
We can play with that.
Yes. Crow is on my side.
Crow is on your side. Seattle has plenty of corvids to call forth.
Oh yeah.
And though they are typically creatures of the day, but we are not fully into night. This is the twilight leading into the evening. And in the distance, you hear the flapping of feathered wings and the cacophonous caws echoing in the space, and they're coming. Not there yet.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a second for them, a minute or two for
It
birds
takes
to
a while.
fly in.
It does take some time, but they're on their way, and you can tell that this was coming. All right, so
I can just imagine, this moment where the mask comes on and Charlie throws his hands in the air and just like, ah!
yes, just yes, fantastic. Exactly what I imagined.
If the people around us didn't think that they were fleeing for their lives right now, we would be like the weirdest improvisational troupe they've ever seen in their
Flash mob,
lives.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then it turns into a Hitchcock film, and you have like,
Right.
Birds!
all right, that resolves that round. So next we go into the Ernie. I forgot all about Ernie. Ernie was dragging his friend Vinny away from the fight, and he took on a more owlish form too, benefiting from the effects of that, but he seems to be intent on licking the wound on the side of Vinny, and for the turn that he's spinning there, Vinny starts looking like maybe he's doing a little better.
Crap, he's their healer. That's gross.
Animals lick wounds all the time to alleviate pain.
It doesn't make it any less gross.
It is kind of gross, yeah.
Because it's just like two grown men in an owl costume, like playing tonsil tennis. It's awkward. It's too much going on.
In a public park. Well, there's like,
Right. Like,
bizarre-
where is the law?
I just.
I said things get weird in the world sometimes.
Clearly.
This is not something that I would not expect to see in Seattle anyways. So
I mean, so far it hasn't gotten too weird, right?
Okay. We could make it weirder. All right.
That was not a challenge, Storyteller. That was not a challenge.
You hear from above on the hill, the shadowed man just kind of exclaimed to himself, Christ almighty, I'm gonna have to do this myself. I almost lost you there. I'm clicking all the wrong buttons.
Don't do that. Inea's standing here bleeding out.
And as he does that, he pulls out a gun that he's keeping in his waistband. Let's see how you like this one, Prag. And he fires. And he is aiming for the headdress, specifically.
It does sort of make Charlie stand out, I suppose.
Yes.
yeah, this and the scream
Also that, yeah, yeah.
kind of drew some attention to myself.
That's fine.
Giant
Just
target.
hope he's not a very good shot.
Yeah. I mean, his people are kind of between him and you. He does have the advantage of height, being at the top of the hill.
But he gets a added difficulty for the targeting.
Because there's a brawl going on between him and you. Sort of.
All right. So Charlie, gotta find you for a second. The bullet pierces your shoulder. In and out. And you end up taking only 1 point of lethal because you can soak up to 2. And you just hear the gentleman up at the top, son of a bitch.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, it probably stings a little bit.
Like a mother.
And that concludes that round. So we're going to start up again, this time with the physical combatants, which look like it's still Inea, Chris, and Joshua, Ross, and Cal. So Yeah, traditional initiative order does not work well. From Roll20, I'm finding. Gonna have to... I got a better idea. Better way of doing this. Gonna have to organize things a little differently. I apologize for the delay. It just takes a little moment. Those physical combatants, and then range. That is definitely going to be. Changes the initiative order a little bit, but not too bad. Alright, so at the top of the round, we've got Ross versus Cal. Ross is going to try and claw the bird that's harrowing him. So oh, he doesn't even have claws. So he doesn't have that advantage. He's just going to try and beat the word away from him. I was about to say something else, and that was not the way to say that. Cal is going to make his attacks. And neither one of them get anywhere. They are too busy trying to deal with one another.
You know what though? Cal is keeping one extra combatant out of my face. He is greatly appreciated.
Exactly. He's
These
doing
are the two-
exactly
Thinking
what he should be.
Right.
Inea, it's your turn. You failed your previous effect, only getting the one success. Wasn't a botch, so you didn't take any paradox, but still nothing happened.
It is probably not worth trying again, quite frankly. So Chris is occupied by yet once again being bewebbed.
He is, yeah, he's definitely in the webs.
I think I'm going to attempt to pull my taser and tase the ever-loving hell out of... I was going to say something else. Out of Josh.
Okay, you're going to tase Josh. All right.
Yes.
Before you do that, make a willpower roll, but with a DP mod of -3.
-3. And difficulty?
6. Or no, I'm sorry, 4.
Oh, shit.
Fine, you still counted. You still got better than that, so you got 2 successes there. Okay, cool. Even with it being 4, or 6. So, you are also still not affected by the derangement in your attempt to grab the taser and use it.
Excellent,
So-
because I'm okay. Well, we'll just call it. I'm just too pissed to deal right now. Okay.
So taser. Go ahead.
So I have not done this yet, so I'm not sure how this is supposed to work. Let's see. What am I even?
So this taser has a clip of and fire rate of 1, so you get
Right.
1 shot.
Right.
The damage it does is going to be, well, it's going to be a contested roll between you and Josh, or not
Mhm.
Josh or Chris. Who are you attacking, Chris or Josh?
Josh.
Josh. Okay, so it's going to be a contested roll between you and Josh. Trying to see what the taser. It's going to be, yeah, difficulty on that's going to be 4. So
It's an attack roll.
yeah, it would be your dexterity and firearms.
Okay.
So
In which I
it
have
still
an
counts
A.
as a firearm. But the difficulty is going to be 4.
Okay.
E.
Do I have a DP mod on this?
No. It's the wound penalty still applies, so no.
Okay.
He is
And
going
then-
to attempt to attack as well.
I have 1 success. I only had 1 die, apparently.
Yes, after the negatives. Josh rolled 2 successes. So that's 1 against you. His claws still don't manage to get through your toughened skin, so it does no damage. And the taser shoots through him, but he seems to shake off that that attack.
Okay.
Close, but not quite.
We have happening here is a Three Stooges improvisational performance.
Hey, you know, in comparison to your very first fight where you Supermaned onto the ground,
Yeah,
I think this is fine.
we're doing better than that anyway.
I guess I don't have to look for a rock anymore. I have drugs.
Yeah.
Drugs are great. Definitely can
Ooh,
help.
that First fight, I tell you what.
Mhm. So he disappeared, and then
Ooh,
He's
I've
going
been
to make
wondering
it-
about him.
he is going to try and make an attack against you now that he has been able to sneak around in the darkness. He has night sight. And he is going to make an attack against you. And you feel a claw rake across your back, but you are built tougher with your life magics. You are, you've got that thick skin that just does not take it damage very well, or takes damage very well, I should say. Either way. And then Chris, who is struggling against the webs, is gonna have to make another willpower save, because this is freaking him out.
I'm just thinking about this man running into battle, thinking he about to whoop some ass, and spending the whole time going like this because he got wrapped up by some dork's webs.
Yeah. Totally
So-
dismissed the dude in a half-fried cosplay costume, and now that dude has him all wrapped up.
Screeching with rage, he breaks through the webbing that's been holding him down, and he attacks the first thing he sees, which happens to be Josh.
Somebody done lost his mind.
Oh, we love to see it. We love
do.
to see it.
This is what happens when you take the ferocity trait. It gives you rage, but also gives you berserker.
And a berserker with no control is friendly fire waiting to happen.
Yeah. And so he ends up doing, with the additional strength, 5 points of lethal damage to Josh.
Nice, except that now that's going to get turned on Nay, who does not have 5 points to take anymore.
You see this kerfuffle of two giant owlmen, and as one is going to attack Inea, the other one just leaps out of the webs and starts clawing at his friend. And feathers and blood fly all over the place. That takes care of Chris's turn. Josh is already gone. It is now Melissa's turn, and she is furious looking for that manager. And so she is going to... She's got her one trick.
Plug your ears.
Yeah, she's going after Jezebel again. Jezebel, please roll your willpower. Difficulty... Difficulty still 5.
Okay. Is there a DP mod?
There is no DP mod.
Okay, cool. Difficulty 5. Oh no. Ugh. I didn't like that color. I mean, but that's still not good.
It is not.
Uh-huh.
Um,
It's not a botch, but it's still not good.
So, I'm going to link to you a handout. So if you look into the journal, you'll see derangements, and under that folder is a handout for you with the specific derangement that is now affecting you. Also, because there was a large discrepancy
Oh,
between... because there was a discrepancy, a pretty large one, between the two rolls. What is your current paradox?
I think 4? Yeah, 4.
I need you to make another willpower roll with a difficulty of 6. That's very good.
Oh, thank God. Because reading through this in particular, the answer is no. I don't even
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. So looking at your derangement that we've handed off to you, this is kind of the dark side of Jezzy. This is
Yeah.
what people have been afraid of with you. Integrate that however you see fit.
Shit. Okay.
That being said, it didn't get any worse. But you can kind of hear and feel the dark whispers stoking those darker desires. That coldness that can take grip when things need to get done. And our boy Jolie shrieks a bit, seeing the berserker owl break out of the webs. And he dusts himself off, stands up, or he's already standing up. He looks around, he's like, shouldn't we be going or something? I mean, I don't know if I can handle this. What would Spidey do? And with that thought, I'm going to have him roll willpower.
Honestly, Spidey'd probably have way more sense than any of the rest of us and get the hell out. But, you know.
Oh no, man. Spider-Man sees there's danger, he leaps in.
Well, yes, but he's already had half his suit blown off of him.
True. The suit's not looking too good.
Neither is Nay.
The 5 successes on his willpower roll, however.
Nice!
Yeah, he is bound and determined to face this threat, and his mechanical arms begin moving again. 2 of them kind of hanging, somewhat limply, but the other 2 manage to lift him from the ground, and he spins his web, and he swings from a tree and puts his feet out to attack Marshall that's attacking Inea.
I don't know how freaking heavy this backpack of his is, because that is a shit ton of machining.
It's enlightened science. What are you talking about?
Of course it is.
So he is going to swing, kick. Difficulty on
And
this is
light
a little higher.
means it weighs less, right?
Sorry? Oh, yeah.
And light means it weighs less, yeah?
Yes, because
Oh,
we
shit.
are talking about Jolie here. The lights are not on.
Sorry, I'm going to re-roll that because I forgot the dice pool modifier. Alright, that's better. He gets
Oh, that's much
3
better.
8s. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot that he is ignoring the wound penalties because he can't. There's an effect going on here.
I
Because
was gonna
Spider-Man.
say, because he's not living in the same reality with the rest of us.
I mean,
Reality.
I did start this talking about baseline reality, right?
Reality, yes. Quotation mark, air quotes, all of the air quotes.
So Marshall takes some damage here. He's able to, so he takes not lethal damage because Jolie doesn't have anything lethal on him. His feet are not sharp, but he does manage to knock Marshall back a bit, and he takes 2 points of bludgeoning, or bruise damage. Sorry. Non-lethal. How's that?
I do have to say that's very Spidey-like.
Mhm.
Because then he'll spend the next, like, 2 or 3 rounds avoiding Marshall's attacks through sheer agility. Shit-talking the entire time.
Yeah. The big owl man at the top of the hill. He pulls out. I mean, he still has the gun out. He's going to shoot again. He's like, he says, "Fucking cocksucker," and shoots again. This time, now he's still shooting at Charlie. He still has that fear, hatred of Crow. Two successes. However, Charlie, that bullet flies in, hits your tough skin, and then just compresses against it and just tick, 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 hits the ground. It knocks you back a bit. The wind gets pushed out of you, but tough skin is important.
Hell yeah.
Makes you mostly bulletproof.
Oh yeah, like a vest.
Mm-hmm. It is
I mean,
now.
it's still gonna hurt like a mother, but you're not gonna die.
The continuing cawing of the swarm fills the air. It gets louder and louder and louder. And at this point, a dark cloud of crows descends upon the area and starts filling the space. And wanted to use this one for a while. There are crows everywhere. Just gonna cover that. There we go. Crows just flocking and swarming the area. You have commanded these crows. What do you command them to do, Charlie?
Attack the big owl man.
Attack the giant big owl man.
Yeah, he's trying to shoot me. Well, let's attack back.
That's very fair. Making some more space there. Okay. So yeah. I'm gonna have you roll. Yeah, they fly at the man on the hill, and he is immediately swarmed, almost lifted off the ground as they peck and push and gnaw at him. I'm gonna have you roll. Let's just say, yeah, standard dice pool, we'll say 15 is the dice pool. and difficulty is 6.
6. Let's see what we get.
11.
11.
Let's see, that's a 5, 6, 8, 9, 7, 6, 9, 7, 7, 2, 6, 5, 10, 3, 2.
That is the most dice I've seen in this entire game. Oh my god.
I wish my animations were showing up.
Oh, I got him. It's great. Okay. You can hear the shrieks of the Owlman as these crows just swarm on them. As you've seen in nature videos and in your own life, crows don't like big owls in their space.
Yeah.
And the spiritual entity within this man becomes more furious and angry, and his body, you can see there are cuts and scratches, and while his attachment to this other entity affords him some protection, it is not going well for him.
Now somebody with some spirit magic attack him.
Vinny, who is feeling a little better after Ernie has assisted him.
Vinny
He
and
gets
Ernie,
up.
I just now put that together.
They're all birds, man. It's fine. I don't have a Bert. I just have a Vinny. But Vinny does take this opportunity to try and move towards and attack Charlie. I should also say, Charlie, that was a mental command that you gave to the birds. You can still take your action. I completely blanked on that. So he's going to try to attack you, but you can do things beforehand. Or you can completely try to dodge him, or whatever. Just pointing the birds at Owlman wasn't necessarily like an action.
Is there any cover?
There's some trees, there's some bushes, there's not a whole lot of solid objects around here.
Okay, well,
I know the field looks a little crowded, but it's pretty much open picnic area.
I feel like the birds are taking care of the physical form of that of the big owl man. So, who's the one that's like right up on me?
The one that's coming towards you is Vinny, this guy.
Oh, okay.
We'll give him his ugly face.
Yeah. Yeah, let's I think I'm gonna shoot him.
Okay. Yeah. Gun use difficulty. Point blank difficulty is 4. So
Gutted like a fish and then shot down like a skeet target. Excellent. He's going for every
So
You know
bit
what?
of lethal.
Give me a corpse so I can make a zombie.
Oh God!
yeah, so for firearms, it's dexterity plus firearms.
Okay.
And the wound penalty still applies, but the difficulty at point blank is 4.
And that was 4.
One success. And damage is 4 plus. Yeah, it's just gonna be 4. I'm gonna give him the chance to attack, which was 2. Okay, so he rushes up to goes to attack you. He manages to push into the shoulder that was injured earlier. Does no damage with his claws, but it's enough to kind of push your aim off, and neither of you get any attack in. Sorry, you're not Christian Bale. This is not ballistic or equilibrium. Sorry.
Yeah. No gun katas.
No super cool gun katas, no. Ernie, having done his part, he comes up and rushes towards Jezebel. But he actually has to spend quite a bit of time getting there. He's not very quick. So he spends all his time trying to get there. Jezzy, you were trying to heal others' minds. Last we checked.
Yeah.
With 1 success. But you also notice that you yourself have some issues now.
Yeah. And just based on what I was given
Mm-hmm.
and how Jezzy's feeling,
Yes.
she wants to murk this bitch. And I was saying that the whole time. I was like, I have to kill this bitch. I have to kill this bitch.
Okay.
So my goal is to get as close to Melissa as possible
Okay.
so I can stab her. I have like an energy weapon thing, and I want to use that, but I have to run through all of these people first.
Yeah, you do kind of have a field of
Yeah, there's a
That-
ton going on in front of me. But because she's the one who's trying to fuck with my head and fucking with my friends' heads, that's my job. I don't appreciate. So
I'm gonna say roll your willpower
fine.
with a dice pool modifier of -2,
Fine.
difficulty 4.
Four. Okay,
Okay.
that works.
That's 3 successes that you initially think, I can take this joy, I can amp my brain up, and I
Mhm.
can explode this bitch's head. But that doesn't happen. You resist that urge and fall to a more primal desire to run to her and cut her. Because that's going to be more satisfying.
Yeah.
So
She fucked up all my plans. So she must pay the consequences.
I would say roll your dexterity plus athletics.
Dexterity. There is not a lot there, darling. And you said use one of the. Oh, this button has.
Yeah, no DP mod in this because your wound penalty still applies.
Okay. And what was the difficulty?
Difficulty is going to be 6.
6. Okay. Oh shit.
So
Well-
you start the jog towards her, and you get a bit of a hitch from one of your earlier wounds. It's not like you're out of breath or anything, but I mean, you're a yoga master, but you're not a sprinter.
At least you didn't Superman onto the grass. Okay?
No, I'm a bendy boy. I'm not a fast boy. That's all.
So you get a bit of the way, but at that point, that's when Ernie catches up to you and grabs your shoulder and turns you around.
Ooh, he gonna get his ass whooped. I'm not in the mood, sir. I'm not in the mood, sir.
In the mood. But that puts you and Ernie both into the close quarters combat. Also puts Vidi into the close quarters combat. And Charlie also into the close quarters combat. Ned's still ranged. Jolie is also swinging through a tree. I'm going to say he swung past. Okay. Top of the close quarters combat, we've got Old Man Ross versus Cal. This is actually just going to be a joke, I think, at this point. Old man trying to shoo a crow away.
The crow just fucking with him by not going away.
Okay, but the old man does manage to slap Cal down. Cal. But manages to not take any damage because even Cal has. Well, no, he takes 1. Sorry, just reading that. He takes 1. He ends up getting slapped to the ground, and he kind of hits it and pops back up and flies back at the old man's face. Takes care of Ross.
You can't keep a good crow down.
Cannot. The swarm of crows attacking the owlman at the top. They get their opportunity again. So Charlie, for them, I'll have you roll the same 15 dice pool with a difficulty of 6.
All right.
Seven, 8. Okay. So 9 successes there. This. Let me look something up for Owlman here. More shadow feathers and blood are coming through as this man is attacked by this flock of birds, and he punches a few of them, and some of them get knocked down, and you hear him say, "Oh, you're a dead man."
The plug in your face, isn't it? Asshole.
And you see tendrils of shadow fly forth, and from Vinny and Ernie, you see their essence and their owlness fly from their bodies, and the shards that are within them fly back to the Owlman. And they also lose some health. In fact, Vinny collapses unconscious. Ernie, he is, well, we'll get to Ernie when it gets to his turn. And you see the man surrounded by the birds. The shadows around him grow further and darker, and the image in the spirit realm of the owl grows another 2-3 feet. Now, Charlie, it is your turn. What are you doing?
Well, it seems like the let's just. I better deal with the person that's attacking me. You know what I would like to do is
Vinny,
to give him.
You missed him. He's now unconscious at your feet. There's nobody attacking you.
Oh,
he just
okay.
had
Well,
his life sucked out of him.
Oh, okay. Well then, let's redirect the swarm towards the old man that swatted Cal.
Okay. So the swarm circles around and starts flying towards Ross. We'll call him Ross.
And then what I want to do is shoot at Karen. What's her name?
Melissa.
Melissa.
Okay. Yeah. You're within range, so difficulty 6. Same dexterity and firearms. she is not really aware of your attack. She's focused on other things. So she's not going to try and dodge. So that's okay. Let's see. Let me double check my. Okay, yeah, you get a significant shot to her gut. She manages to soak some of it with her owl form, but she takes crap. I just did all the math and now I forgot it. 5. That's right. 5 points of lethal. So she goes from where she was to. She is definitely mauled by the gunshot wound. And now, in terms of this, it's Inea's turn.
Okay, so Josh and Chris are occupied with attempting to rip each other to shreds, I assume.
Well, Chris is definitely doing that. Josh is, well, it depends on what you're doing.
So, what Inea really wants to do, even though she just saw her go, or get shot, is bum rush Melissa and carve that owl shard out of her.
Okay.
This bitch is messing with her pack. Fuck that.
I get that. Yeah, so make a dexterity plus athletics roll. See if you can get around Chris and Josh.
I am totally clicking the wrong buttons. Okay. Dexterity and athletics.
Difficulty 6.
And because I'm using the second button now, I do not need to worry about DP mod, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Difficulty 6. Woo, here we go. 3 successes.
5 successes.
5! Holy shit, 5!
Okay, so you deftly avoid the 2 scuffling owlmen, and you manage to get right next to this bitch.
Okay.
You can attack. So in this case, yeah, for you.
Dex and martial arts.
Correct.
Because I'm using my Spirit Slayer knife.
The knife attack is difficulty 4. And she is going to try to counter as well, so she's going to have her attack against you.
I'm not doing a DP mod with this one either.
Correct.
Okay, so 4. Oh, God, 7. 7 successes.
Wow.
Nea's lost her shit just a little bit.
Yeah, you, in a bloody rage, cut into her deep, and it's almost immediate. You hit something that just ends her life. And the spirit that was animating, or not animating, but the spirit that was within her kind of shudders and shakes as the spiritual damage done to the owl shard with those successes and this piece of the owl shard, you actually managed to dissipate its energy, and it actually doesn't even fly back to the owl man. It actually fades from existence, as you can tell.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And Melissa is no more.
Good riddance.
Seriously. Really, really tired of her shit.
You do feel a bit of satisfaction because that was a perfect attack. That ends
Yes,
in
it
his
was.
turn.
Nay will take time later to be utterly horrified by herself, but for
What
now
sort of
she's...
monster have you become?
Yes, for now she's just very happy to be done with that bitch.
Marshall leaps after Jolie to see if he can even reach him. Jolie is also attacking. So. Marshall's one success versus Jolie's botch. So Jolie, who cannot soak lethal damage, takes one more point of lethal damage, and he hits the ground mid-swing and just kind of curls up, and you can see that he is gravely injured.
Yikes!
That ends Marshall. Injured. Chris is attacking Josh, and Josh has defended himself, attacking back, so these two are busy with one another. Mindfuckery is bad. In fact, Josh now has to make the same thing, same willpower roll. And he maintains control of himself, but he's also not allowing his friend to hurt him, so they're both attacking one another. In this case, Chris has the advantage, so he does 4 more points of lethal damage. He ends up killing his friend. His friend is now a bloody mess at his own feet, and you can see Josh is dead, life snuffed out. The owl shard within him flying back to the man on the hill.
Oh, that's gonna suck for Chris later. Oh, man.
I did not expect Josh to die so quickly. Ernie has spun Jezebel around to face him, and he's going to try and punch her. He is wounded, and you can see tears in his eyes as he's realized that he is no longer chosen. But he is still going to try and prove himself. What does Jezebel do?
So, I have a question.
Mhm.
I was reading the Prime entry in the journal or whatever,
Yeah.
and it said that I can deal aggravated damage by shaking up an organism's life force. Would that apply to Ernie? Can I just fuck with his life force using prime magic?
Well, it would be a combination of life and prime. And you don't have enough life to affect another being like him. You would need 3.
I would need
to do
3.
that. But there is there's an effect that's a prime 2 effect called rubbing the bones. That does no permanent damage, but it can disable a character because it causes so much intense pain. And you could probably mix rubbing the bones with a mental effect.
Yeah. Let's do that. That sounds fun. Let's just play his synapses like a xylophone, shall we?
Okay. So that would be an Arete roll. In your case, TP mod's going to be 1.
Okay.
And you can spend willpower quintessence however you like as usual. And how would you affect his mind? How would you give him this pain? This crippling pain?
I just have this mental image of Jesse. You know that old Disney cartoon with the dancing skeletons that comes around every October? And there's a xylophone skeleton?
Jeez.
Except in his brain.
I want to do something like that. I want to give him, like, okay, Jezzy still has this effect on her, right? So in her head, there's nothing but this screaming rage. So I want to put in his head a scream so loud that it shatters his reality.
Okay.
Because that's what it feels like.
Right. Excellent. Your mental abilities, you also pick up that his primary fear is pain. Like, it started with, like, fear of vaccination and injections. But he's just, like, outright afraid of being in pain. So this is going to get a little bit of a bonus because it's also playing into his own fears as well. So, yeah. You lock eyes. You lock eyes with him and you push the effect towards him. Are you spending any willpower or quintessence?
I am spending a point of willpower for at least one success.
Okay.
And what is the difficulty?
Difficulty for this is going to be the base difficulty we'll say is 6.
Okay. I'm gonna just do the willpower. Okay.
I said you spend the 1 quintessence, you can lower that to
5.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'll do it. Yeah, let's go
It's a
for
small
it.
edge, but yeah.
It's a small edge, but we need all the edges we can get. Oh, that was a good idea.
So
right.
you've got a 10 in there.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeepers, yes I do.
3 successes. Resounding success. This is still a vulgar effect.
So I take a point of paradox.
Take a point of paradox. But you lock eyes with him and you reach into his mind and you shatter his reality. You the perception he has of what is becomes nothing but daggers and glass shards that are attacking him, and he feels the intense, sharp pain. Does no damage to him physically, but psychically he takes well, that's 3 successes, so that would be 3 points of bashing damage in his head. And it actually, with the prime, makes it lethal. Or no, aggravated, doesn't it? Let's see. Yeah, any sphere when charged with 2 prime and a point of quintessence, which you did spend,
Yeah.
becomes aggravated damage.
Yeah. Oh, the maniacal laughter. Alix's maniacal laughter. I love it. I love it.
That is my favorite. He should have left me alone, bro. He should have just let me go and try and kill that bitch.
Oh yeah, yeah. He should have.
That is enough to push his health bar down to incapacitated with 3 aggravated, 1 lethal, and 3 bashing.
Wow.
And he crumples.
Hey, bye.
His brain is soup.
Ew.
Don't envy him the headache he's gonna have tomorrow morning.
It's gonna feel like the world's worst hangover.
Yeah.
He's gonna need some Excedrin, boy.
And he did not even get to have the fun that goes with the pre-gaming.
I'm telling you.
The Owlman sees his gang of allies dwindling, and fearing for his own safety above all else, he's going to run into the shadows and see if he can get the fuck out of here. You guys have scared him. He was not anticipating this being this difficult. So he's going to make his...
That makes 2 of us, dude. You did not need to make this as difficult as it has been tonight, okay?
I just want to do like one of those, like, what is it, Mortal Kombat? Get over here. One of those.
Yes!
Just like, where the fuck are you going? Absolutely, you stay here and get your ass whooped, sir. How very dare.
I mean, I'll be honest, given the shape that we're all in, it's probably best that he just fuck off. But
I mean, yeah, but ooh.
Oh no, Nay and Jezzy are amped the fuck up.
We are going to need a spa day.
Oh,
boy,
God.
howdy.
It is uncommon to see anything like this, but he turns, and Charlie saw it before, where he walked into the shadows and just disappeared. But here, with your heightened senses and everything that's going on, you see the form of the man turn and like step into the penumbra, and the owl form of the shadowy owl leaps into the air and flies into the distance at incredible speed, and he is now no longer to be seen.
Oh,
but
what
you
a
can see that
bitch.
he flew south.
Oh, but he stepped through the penumbra, so that could actually be anywhere when he comes back out.
True. That now.
But he left his buddies out hanging out to dry.
I wonder if they
Cowards do.
noticed.
They will later. I mean, assuming that any of them walk out of this alive, because we've kind of, we've gone blender mode here.
See, she's dead. He's not. He's dead. And he's all. Jezzy actually killed her. Yeah.
Yes.
No
I have my
migraine in the
zombies.
morning. Oh shit! I forgot about that.
Forgot about what?
She does. Jezzy's zombie desire.
There's 3 dead bodies.
There's 3
Um,
of them. I have goddamn puppet show going on.
Oh no! Oh god!
we are now at the top of round 4. Ross, the old man, is trying desperately to survive the pecking of these crows. Charlie, roll those 15 dice with difficulty 6.
Let's see what happens.
God, that is so many dice.
Only 4 successes, though. So
Wow.
Yeah.
when you roll more dice, you get more chances to roll ones. So
True. It's true.
True.
I don't see any 10s in there either.
So, old man Ross seems a bit more hardy than what some people may have given him credit for. He actually walks away from that with only taking 2 points of lethal damage. He's actually just hurt. He's going to try and swat at some of these birds, but I mean it's a difficult task. It's going to be really hard. So hard, in fact, that I don't think he's really going to be able to do that. In his fear, he's going to try and intimidate Charlie again. This time, the difficulty is way up because of the crow mask, and it fails miserably. So he stands there and he's flopping around and he looks at the crow mask. He's like, "You motherfucker, you get over here and you get the..." And then he realizes that his voice is not carrying any weight. And now, Charlie, it is your turn. Actually, you don't have anybody physical combat. Sorry, I was.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Sorry, close quarters combat not happening there. Marshall is here. Jolie is here. Chris is also. He would be. Sorry, gotta arrange the order in the right way. Marshall is going to try and curb stomp Jolie on the ground. That is actually an attack here. Let's see. What does curb stomp entail?
That is an extremely bad idea, Mr. Marshall.
Actually, he can't do it. He doesn't have enough dots in Brawl.
Ah!
You gotta have 3 in Brawl to use dirty fighting techniques. So at this point, it's just him trying to kick. Jolie is going to try to dodge as best he can. Made more difficult because he's injured. also got that Spidey suit on. Alright, so he is unable to avoid the kicking attack from Marshall. However, kicking is just bashing damage, so fortunately enough for Jolie, he's able to soak 1 bashing damage and ends up with no damage taken at all. Hold on a second. My Bluetooth needs to reconnect. I couldn't hear anything for a second there. Okay, I'm back. Well, I still can't hear you guys.
Oh, I was muted.
Okay, never mind. Then it wasn't that.
Also, I wasn't talking, but we did just lose Billie. She says lost power for a second and thus lost internet.
Okay, well, we can wait for Billie to reappear.
Yeah, I'm betting a router reboot is in the offing.
But good news for Jolie. He lives.
Yay!
You love to see it.
Nae's now facing the other direction and has been privy to watching that happen. So if somebody else doesn't get there first, she's gonna.
No, that's what I was thinking. Like, okay, at this point, Jesse has exploded some dude's head, so that's cool. But she's not. She's not sane enough to like think about making zombies or taking joy or whatever that would make her more powerful. She's just going to go head first at whatever is attacking the people that she cares about.
Right, and that's kind of where Nae is right now too. I don't know if we got hit with the same thing or not. Tim knows, but whatever it is that what Nae got hit with, pretty much she was already in protective mode, so we've turned that up past 11 at this point.
Yeah.
I should have, and I didn't, because I made the calculation that you guys, I might have overloaded this and like would have like killed you too quickly. So there was a 8th gang member.
Oh.
That was hiding around, but no, he didn't make it. Didn't make it into the rotation. But I did like his.
Oh my god!
I love that. So.
Is he fucking busted out?
Yeah.
I wanted to at least show that. Even if he was nowhere to be found. He wouldn't have been that effective anyway. It's not a strength-based one. Alright. Okay. So, what just happened? Oh yeah, Jolie. Jolie lives. He got kicked in the gut, but it wasn't enough to do any damage to incapacitate him. He's still just crippled on the ground. Probably in a lot of pain. In fact, he's in a lot of pain. That being said, Charlie, you have a crow headdress on and a gun and other things at your disposal. What would you like to do?
Heal Jolie.
Okay. So, yes, you can absolutely do that. Did you want to run up and push Marshall out of the way because you would still have to contend with that, or did you want to do that from a distance?
I want to do that from a distance.
Gotcha. Okay.
I have foreign correspondence. There's no need to be anywhere that I don't want to be.
Exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, the one in correspondence with the... is this a particular rote, or is this just... Your rote is more for, like, trauma, working with the person.
Right, no, this is just going to have to be a...
Straight up will.
Straight up, yeah.
Okay. So, in constructing that, that's going to be using 3 life magic. It's definitely vulgar. Fortunately, there's no witnesses per se at this point. So base difficulty is going to be 7. You would want to roll Arete with a DP mod of 1 and spend quintessence and willpower how you like.
Okay, let me look at my quintessence and willpower.
You can spend up to 2 quintessence with your avatar rating.
Let's just spend a willpower.
Okay.
And then I will go over here. And you said the difficulty was 7? Oh, shoot.
Yes.
Let me try that again. Let me cancel that and redo it.
Okay.
Hit the wrong thing. Difficulty is 7.
Ooh.
6 successes.
Sweet.
Nice.
And you heal 2 levels for every success. So
Yes.
yeah, so you know that moment in Back to the Future when Marty is on stage and he's hurt because his parents haven't kissed yet?
Yes.
Jolie kind of pops up like that. All his wounds fade away. He's still in pain, but he feels charged and not injured anymore. He's still, like I said, you can still feel the problems there. You do need to take a point of paradox for that, though.
And we are collecting that right, left, and center. This is going to be interesting.
Inea, you see Jolie come to, looking like he's ready for another fight. And there is the berserking Chris between you and he and the marshal that was kicking Jolie when he was down.
Where is Chris's attention?
That's a good question. Let's see. He seems intent on going towards the giant crow person.
Oh no, he isn't. Oh, he's got his back to me.
Yeah.
Him gonna lose his scalp. Probably starting from somewhere around his right kidney.
Deserved. Deserved.
Okay.
All right. So where is
Well,
my...
as a berserker and intent on his current target, he will not offer any resistance to your attack.
That's just as well. Difficulty of 4?
Yes.
Oh, let's see. We got 5 successes.
Yes. 5 successes.
Nay is turning into frickin' Jack the Ripper here. This is not going to be okay in a couple days.
Double checking how much additional Berserkers get a few more health levels. But that is not enough to do a lot of damage. You do manage to injure him, but he shrugs it off in his rage against Crow.
Oh, well, now he's just making it a challenge.
Now, well, this comes down to Jezebel and Chris. This could be a contested role. What would you intend to do? You see this frenzied owl person moving to attack your friend Charlie.
I want to explode his brain. Like, psychically. Like I did his ugly ass friend.
Oh, Cindy. Oh, I completely forgot. This is the... let's see. Yeah. When you went to attack and you stabbed Chris, oh, she's not even there. You gotta wait. All these extra effects that these people have on them, I completely forgot about this one thing. Kind of why Joshua went down so fast.
So
Inea.
very sorry.
That's fine. No. Inea, when you attacked Chris and your knife dug into him, immediately you felt a magical resistance and pushback, and you take 1 level of lethal damage
Shit.
from his razor skin, as it's called.
Well, that puts me at crippled.
Yes. You are in your moment you go to your knees and you're barely hanging on to life as it is.
Well, that's
Jezzy.
exciting.
Seeing this, Nea's is hurt. Charlie is in danger. And your insight into the mind of this monster is that they're afraid of intimacy. They're afraid of being touched. And he is going to attack the crow, the dancing crow man. But what are you
Okay.
doing?
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you think a serial killer would take steroids if it meant that he could hunt better?
Depends on the serial killer, but a lot of them do get into certain drug use, and if they feel they can control it and handle it, then yeah, oftentimes they would definitely enhance themselves as best they can.
Yeah.
Especially if they're going with a specific image. They're trying to make themselves look or appear a certain way. It makes the hunt easier.
So the Manson family were big into drugs.
That's true. That is very
Additionally,
true.
yeah. Additionally, there have been serial killers who were all up in the methamphetamines
Mhm.
for that reason. There
And
is some
risk-taking behavior is
Yes.
definitely in line with antisocial disorder.
Yes.
Okay.
I was just going to say there is a huge theory that a lot of killers in general, but serial killers as well, are attempting to self-medicate because it's a brain chemical imbalance that they're dealing with.
Mhm.
It does depend on what their particular pathology is, but there is a component of of an attempt at self-medication with some of these drugs.
Okay. So with that in mind, Jezzy is going to chaotically do Joy at least 2, just out of nowhere, chaotically, because she wants to explode as many brains as possible psychically.
Okay. So the dosing for that raises your awareness by 2, raises your rank in mind to 4. So you can do mind 4 effects at this point once you take it. What mind 4 effect are you thinking about doing?
I want to control them and force them to run. Like control their conscious mind and force them to run.
Okay. Easy enough.
Because they need to get the fuck out of here. Otherwise, they're going to become like cat food.
Let me check on a thing. Yeah, straight up mind control.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I would say you absolutely can pull this off with Mind 4, and it would be an impressive feat. So it would require 4 successes.
Okay.
So you can absolutely do this. Your arete is still only 3, but you can spend willpower and you can spend quintessence to increase your odds. The difficulty is going to be, the base difficulty is 8.
I don't have a lot, but fuck it. We're gonna spend a willpower. We're gonna spend a quintessence as well. Did I? There's supposed to be an X there. Beautiful. And this is just the arete button itself? No DP mod or
with
anything,
with
right?
a DP mod, I'd say let's make it a DP mod 2.
DP mod 2. And difficulty is 7. Oh, fuck me running.
So, with the 1 success from the willpower, prevents this from being a straight up botch.
That was a good idea.
And so you take the pill and you swallow it, and you feel the rush and surge of mental acuity. You can hear everybody's thoughts and their secrets and their whispers, and it is exciting. It is you've felt this before, but never with this level of control or clarity. You can just look at a person and instantly know what they're thinking. And the rush and the excitement of this new possibility kind of trips you up a bit. and you don't complete the effect. You are starting to reach their minds, but they don't quite. They don't quite take grip. That being said, you're on your way to fully puppeting anybody,
Good.
alive or dead. And Chris, well, he attempts to rake Charlie, but doesn't do nearly enough damage. Charlie just soaks it up with his tough skin. At this point, let's see. Just cleaning up the turn order here. Okay, looks like everybody's pretty much in the thick of it at this point, so it's just going to be natural turn order. So, Ross, the old man, he's going to keep trying to yeah, he sees that Jolie's popped up, and he's going to try and mesmerize Jolie. Spider Jolie.
Now, he does have a swarm on him.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Roll the swarm first. That's at the top of the round every round. So, 15 dice.
Numb his face.
Do like Hitchcock for real. Pick their bones clean. Like a face.
4 successes, which
He's a tough old bird.
it's
Literally.
not just the rolls. It is that he is actually really tough. That only does an additional 2 points of damage. He is currently wounded, but he's got that old man strength, you know.
The Arlie Ermy of Owlmen.
Yeah, he was very much like the first one in line, and so he tries to intimidate Jolie Jones. Three successes. Jolie. The willpower save. And matches. So he just gives the old man the middle finger when the old man's like, "Get over here, boy, and help me." And Jolie's like, "Who you calling boy?" Now it is Charlie's turn.
Okay, and I've got this berserker like right up on me, right?
The berserker's right up on you, yes. Did we lose people?
Yeah, let's slam him. Let's give him to
Slam
come
him.
get some. Yeah.
Okay. So this is... Yeah. Hold on a second. So this is guaranteeing... Ooh. So you saw that Inea got hurt by just touching him.
Oh yeah. No,
And I know
that's
you're
probably
smart
not a
enough
good
to know
idea.
different.
Let's do
And-
just exactly the opposite and use that correspondence to push him right the fuck away from me.
Okay, so you're just going to correspondence push him.
Yep.
Okay. That can be done. Sorry. So, magical damage. So correspondence and time inflict no damage unless they are combined with other spheres. But you have other spheres, and you have life.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
that
Yeah,
would be lethal damage. Okay. So that
Well,
attack.
wouldn't the-
Go ahead.
Wouldn't my 2 in prime, wouldn't that make that aggravated damage?
If you want to add that in there as well, you certainly can. You would
Yeah.
make it all okay. So yeah, you can up it to aggravated damage. So you can how do you want to do this correspondence prime life effect? This desperation pushback.
This is a basically as he's coming in close, Charlie like does this like get the fuck away from me and screams, and it's like he pulls energy from all around him and up from the ground and just explodes it out
Right.
from.
All right, yeah. So you push at him, and you can the mask, the headdress, you almost feel like the beak itself opens and lets out this blood curdling primal scream, adding to the effect. Go ahead and roll your arete. This is going to be not that difficult. I mean, you've got correspondence. You're just doing a push, but it's so. Let's say base difficulty is 7, but you can spend willpower and/or quintessence.
No, not at this point. Let's just see what
Okay.
happens. Let's do it.
Roll arete. Oh, dice pool modifier of 1 because you are you're rolling arete and injured, and we want to negate that.
Should I just roll another die from standard dice pool?
Yeah, just go ahead and do that.
1, and that was a 7. Nope.
No. So that's 2 successes, but that translates to 4 points of aggravated damage. So, and he does not have the ability to soak aggravated. So, Chris.
I imagine I need to take a point of paradox for that.
Yeah. So
It's gonna
He
get
goes-
start get squirrely again.
yeah, so point of paradox for that. He flies back and takes all the force of your correspondence magic mixed with prime, and you can see like just the feathers rip from his body, and they dissipate into the penumbra, and the additional prime energy affects even the spirit beyond, and he is no more. His body is bloody and laying on the ground, and those that can see into the penumbra do see the owl shard that is within him fly away. You guys are on a murder streak.
So we have the stubborn old man and the stripy meathead left.
I would call it self-defense with extreme aggression.
Yes.
I like that better.
I mean, yeah, that'll work. Inea,
Hey, they started the fight. I even have that on video.
Mm-hmm.
that is very true.
Mm-hmm.
Inea, you are crippled and in a large amount of pain.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and heal myself because can't actually protect my pack if I can't move.
If you're dead.
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and however you want to do that. It's gonna be probably
I-
healing touch.
Yeah, that's where I was going with that. Yeah, healing touch.
Okay,
Oh.
so
Arete and life.
so yeah, and it's written weird. It should actually be 2 health per success, so not sure why
Okay,
it's-
so
but
it's-
that's fine.
I may have copied it directly from something else.
Yeah. It may have been an old rule, because the new rules are that, for every success you get 2 healing or 2 damage. So,
Okay, yeah, it was probably an old one then.
yeah. That
Okay,
being
so-
said,
Arete
Yeah.
and life to roll.
Heritage Life, base difficulty 6. Actually, base difficulty 7, because
7 because I'm
It's
in a
vulgar.
load of pain.
it's gonna
Yeah.
this amount of healing this quickly is always vulgar.
Ugh, just one.
Did you
Wait a minute.
DP mod?
Why did that?
Oh, it's because of the -5. You also need to add another 5. So roll that again.
Oh,
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
DP mod 8.
8. Okay, rolling that again. I'm like, why did I just roll 1 die? 8. Got it. And difficulty 7. Yay, that's so
That's
much
better.
better. 5 successes.
5 successes. Yeah, so that you feel all the wounds and all the cuts, scratches, bruises fade away. The pain from touching Chris, though, that lingers. That shocked you to like your bones. That was like having your bones rubbed. The primal effect.
Yeek. Okay,
But
so
you also take a point of paradox for that.
yay, paradox. Or
So-
not.
You're fully healed. You have no more wound penalties,
Okay.
but you
But-
are still feeling the effects of this evening. And with that additional and that amount of paradox, you're really, really like itching to like organize your sock drawer.
Yeah, but I gotta get everybody home in one piece first. That's the first thing that's gotta happen.
Marshall goes to attack Jolie Jones, and Jolie Jones goes to attack Marshall. Because they are locked in mortal combat at this point. Jolie Jones wins with 5 successes.
Ah, yes.
So he jumps in there and does, let's see, that's gonna be He does a spinning roundhouse kick directly to Marshall's face, knocking Marshall to the ground, crippling him with, bashing damage. So lots of bruises, some minor cuts, but he is definitely got like a broken leg, or sorry, like broken cheekbone, I should say. So Marshall's not looking good. Jezzy, it's now your turn. You were holding on to that effect to make them run.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep doing that.
Okay. Control their minds. Puppeteer the living owlmen.
Yes, and get them the fuck away from my friend.
Yes. Arete DP mod of 2.
DP.
Difficulty was still 7, if I remember correctly. So that's
a 10.
more. Yes.
We like a 10.
Yes. Given the earlier success and the rush, the wild talent that joy can bring, you absolutely 100%. You grab onto both the minds of this old man and this middle-aged guy, and they immediately stand up straighter, and both of them turn their heads and look at you. And what is your command?
Get the fuck out of here now!
Both men immediately start running as the crows chase them.
Yes! Dance, puppet dance!
Jesse's
And-
fucking terrifying. Evil Jesse. Evil Jesse.
Fuck with me not, friend! Fuck with me not! I lived for this.
Hey, you know what? The home guard fucked around and they found out, didn't they?
And this is why we listen. What did we learn? What did we learn?
Well, I would say that not many of them learned much. Most of them
No,
are
not
dead.
at all.
I'll
Is
tell
at
you
this
this,
point.
we need to
Go
get
ahead.
the fuck out of here too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Now is not the time to be hanging around.
How do you leave, and where do you go?
How far do we want to go?
Can we get back to the because we need to take Jolie back to the commune.
Mm-hmm.
Like we need to get, like, that's how far we need to get. Can we get there?
I think so.
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
you can. Let me check something here. Been doing a lot of checks. This is good.
That to me seems like a open a door between here and there kind of situation.
Yes. So the that's
What I'll probably need to do, Jesse, is have you plant an image in my mind of like a safe spot to open up a door right
Okay.
over there.
so
Oh.
you can use correspondence to scry on that place, and then once that's there,
Oh
can,
yeah.
you can then say it's safe, and you can treat it
Well-
as if it were not necessarily line of sight, but it would be like, someplace close by.
Well, and
Well-
Charlie's also been there. He camped there for like a
yeah,
week.
Snake Tongue
Yeah,
Point.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
exactly
yeah.
what I was thinking. We could just go there.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
So, yes, let me. This is in the. How do you do that? Actually, looked at this
I
earlier
actually
because
have
I
a-
anticipated
right.
the possibility of you teleporting. That I've completely lost my brain.
Because, yeah, the last thing we need is to be seen walking through the streets, bloody.
Yeah. Especially with 4 dead bodies in the middle of a field.
Right, yeah. We need to not be seen walking away from this. We need to just disappear.
So, 2 things. Charlie, roll your arete. This is difficulty 5. Because you're just scrying on a location that you're familiar, that you hope to be familiar with.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, you see your target very clearly, and it looks like it is. Well, go ahead and roll intelligence and awareness, difficulty 6.
What is going on there? Oh, whoops.
No,
I hit the wrong thing.
no worries.
It has been the night for that.
Okay, 1 success. What is the target? Where are you looking?
Snake Tongue Point. Yeah.
Okay. So Snake Tongue Point, you've been there before. So at this point, after you, it changes this from a visited briefly, or saw. Actually, it changes it from familiar, which is like requires 3 successes, down to within immediate perception, and you see that it is safe. So now the teleportation ability is going to be a little easier. So with that, sorry, I gotta look at the. Now I've got way too many windows open.
Just that DM life.
I know. So you're teleporting yourself and 3 other people.
That's where I thought it might be easier just to open a door between here and there and we can walk through it.
It would require
No.
the same. Well,
Same.
Mark Kardashian.
It's
no
the same.
relation.
you're right. You could create a temporary gateway. So I would say that would require 4 successes. So yeah, you can do that. You are reconceptualizing instead of joining the mycelial consciousness and regrowing. You are bridging the space between the mycelial network at Snake Tongue Point and the mycelial network here. and that space between that is an illusion, and you use that to rend open a tear in the ground.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too. It would be a hole in the ground that you would step through.
So go
You
ahead
know what,
and
though?
roll.
Nay will vastly appreciate that more than the mycelial network transmission.
Yes. The last time there was an existential crisis.
Indeed. Go ahead and roll your arete. Difficulty. This is vulgar, so this is definitely going to be a difficulty of 8 at a space. You can take time to dig into the dirt to do it, or and take make it ritualized, and so you can spend some time doing it, or you can make it faster by trying to lower the difficulty and spend willpower and quintessence.
No, we're gonna
Or both.
ritualize this. It's. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I think that's the way to do it.
How do you ritualize this hole digging?
Well, first we have to create a circle around the hole.
Hmm.
And we'll set up stone, like, I have a packet of stones, little crystals, and I'll set those up in a circle around the hole, and then I'll start making, like, actually digging away a layer of dirt.
Okay. So yeah,
It doesn't have to
do
be
this
deep, just enough that it's disturbed.
Awesome. Yeah, so you're digging in this, and there's starting to be some stragglers and some people that are looking around, but so far nothing that's really like coming at you yet. So go ahead and do the first roll, arete, with a DP mod of 1 because we want to negate that health problem. Okay. So as you're doing this, you're kind of directing Inea and Jezebel to kind of assist in arranging things. So like that doesn't necessarily give much benefit, but it makes things move a little faster. It is now much. You got the circle kind of set, and you're adding the energies to it, and you're concentrating on the new location. All said, the first roll represented maybe about 5 minutes. The second roll's the next 10. So go ahead.
Okay, at this part in the ritual, I'm drawing sigils in the dirt in the circle.
But enough. The sigils begin to glow with bioluminescence from the fungus that you've brought to life, and it begins to spread, and the dirt turns into a kind of shimmering blue light. It almost looks like glowing water, and it's ready to go. About 15 minutes in, you've created this kind of pool that you can step into.
Okay, it's ready. We can step through into snake tongue point right here. Wow,
It's not just me.
that took a lot out of me.
I mean, after everything we've been to tonight, I get it, you know?
Yeah, let's get the hell out of here before anybody gets too nosy, because there's some looky-loos already.
Yeah, Jolie, bring your ass. Let's boogie.
Right on, let's do this.
Come on, Spider Jolie.
And he,
Let's...
Spider Jolie leaps in first, followed
job.
by Jezebel, Inea, and followed Charlie. And
Yep, I go through and then close the hole behind me.
not as bright, but it is nighttime in the Snake Tongue Point region. And actually, I'm going to show this one off instead.
Question
Yes.
that, having been here before, is Snake Tongue Point actually a point like jutting out into the Sound?
Yes. It's this kind of forked peninsula.
Yeah.
Excellent. I am going to go, like, immediately without saying anything to anyone, go crashing down to as close to the water as I can get
Mhm.
and take my knife and hurl it as far out into the water as I can throw it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to crouch down and start washing blood off of my hands.
Yeah, absolutely. That fixation. And I think that's a good place to leave you guys to pick up again next time.
Okie dokie.
All right.
That was
Still
fantastic.
sane.
Great job. You're alive. Think about like how 4 barely powered, owl walkers, and how it nearly wrecked you. And now look at you guys. You're a true cabal.
Yeah, we actually did pretty good in that fight.
We did. Like...
We had literally just had our asses fried 30 seconds before. and then we turned around and whooped some ass.
I think that's the level of, you know what? I'm fucking sick of this. So
Yes.
let's just end it, you know?
Let's just be done, please.
Right. Like, I've had enough. So now you need to die. Thank you.
Yes, you need to be not in my face anymore.
Right.
I don't care how you do it, but get out of my face.
Right.
Yeah. I think that went pretty damn well.
It
guys
did,
did well.
and it was a ridiculous amount of fun, which is maybe not the thing to be saying about literally slaughtering
that
poor
was-
people. but-
That was incredible. Like, I got to control minds. I exploded someone's head and it was fabulous. Very pleased over here.
Got some scanners action, got some Hitchcock action.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Fuck with us not, fam. Let it be known.
I'm
No, I
kind of
think you-
surprised you didn't have them fight each other.
Yeah.
I thought about it. I did think about it. I just wanted them to leave. Because the quicker
Big-
they left, the quicker I could leave.
Be gone,
Right.
bitches.
The longer this goes
Right.
on, the more it's going to attract a crowd.
Yep.
Right. Like, we don't need
I
this
mean-
going up on YouTube.
No.
I-
Like,
Just as
Mike the
swarm of
projectionist would just come
crows
out and
might
go like,
draw
what
a
the
crowd.
fuck?
Right.
Fantastic. All right. Well, this was a long one, but I think it was a goodie. So thanks for sticking with us. And that was fun. I
Yes.
can't wait for next
Yeah.
For
week.
sure.
Yes. Good night,
All right.
everybody.
Well, good night, guys. You
Night.
guys go get some sleep. Good night.